Coming up in the morning edition, Water and Sewerage Chairman cries sabotage. Big plans ahead for the nation's second city. And let's go down to Cat Island and visit with Jacob Johnson. A day that begins well, ends well. Good morning, everyone. I'm LaDawn Davis, and this is the Morning Edition. Thank you so much for waking up with us. Speaking of days starting and ending, let's see what's happening weather-wise by turning things over to Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean. Good morning, Basil.
Good morning, LaDawn. As usual, we'll get you started with our ZNet Tower Cam, and it's showing some clouds overhanging the Paradise Island area. And on our satellite picture, we have a stationary frontal boundary across the northwest Bahamas that will support periods of clouds during the course of today. But outside of our studios, partly cloudy skies, temperatures 75 degrees, relative humidity 78%. We have east-southeast winds at 7 miles per hour. The barometric pressure 1,022.8 millibars. That's 30.20 inches, and the pressure is rising. Temperatures around the islands this morning: Marsh Harbor at 72, 71 in Greentole, Key, Abaco, Freeport 71 degrees, 75 in the Berry Islands, Alistown, Bimini also at 75 degrees, 74 in Harbor Island, Roxanne, Eleuthera 75, Otterstown, Cat Island 74 degrees, 75 in Staniel Key, Kemps Bay, South Andros, and Fresh Creek and Central Andros, 74 in San Salvador and Rum Key. Georgetown, Exuma, picking up 75 degrees there, 74 in Ragged Island, Clarence Sound, Long Island, Crooked Island, Betsy Bay, Maguana 76, Ackland 76, 77 in Matthewtown, Unagua, and the Turks and Caicos Islands at 77 degrees. Your boating forecast for today: in the northwest Bahamas, easterly flow at 12 to 18 knots, wave heights 3 to 6 feet with a moderate chop. High tide 7 or 8 in the morning, low tide 1:56 in the afternoon. For the central and southeastern islands, caution flags are up, northeast to east winds 15 to 20 knots, choppy seas at 4 to 7 feet over the ocean. That's going to do it for your first look at weather, the morning edition. Stay tuned. Your forecast for today and tonight is still ahead.
Thanks a lot, Basil. To help with your daily commute, Vaughn Albury is standing by with a traffic drone and the Bahamas First traffic report.
The traffic report is sponsored by Bahamas First. First in insurance. Today, tomorrow.
Good morning. That drone shot you see, thanks Ashley Whitney, that's a shot of Blue Hill Road looking south as traffic makes its way up this two-lane street north. We are outside University Commons near the National Insurance Board and Cordo Avenue West, and already traffic has begun. With me, Corporal DeCory Barr of the Royal Bahamas Police Force. You're telling me traffic police had a busy day yesterday. Tell us about it.
Yes, first, good morning, Vaughn. Good morning, Bahamas. Over the 24-hour period, we had a total of nearly 30 accidents reported. Out of that 30, 20 would have been accidents that were involving damage only, 6 involving injuries, and 2 hit and runs where persons would have failed to stop or remain stationary on the scene of that accident.
Hit and runs, 2 hit and run accidents. That's a concern.
Yes, we'd want to advise persons, once you operate a vehicle, if for whatever reason you happen to be involved in an accident, the best advice we can give you is to stay on the scene of that accident. If you fail to remain on that scene of the accident, you could face some serious fines and penalties.
What do you find to be the common reason for people fleeing the scene of an accident?
We find that a lot of persons fail to remain stationary on the scene of accidents because in most cases they are not covered with third-party insurance risk. Some cases we find that they are not holders of valid driver's license, and for some they just, for whatever reason, don't want to stay. And that's a very great concern that we have. It also shows dishonesty. And that's
liars. They are liars. They're dishonest, but let's call them liars.
Yeah, well, we could call them that as well. But we want to advise them to stay on the scene. The best advice we can give you is to remain on the scene of that accident. There
you go, Corporal DeCory Bob, the Royal Bahamas Police Force. Hit and run accidents still a concern. Remember, you must stay on the scene of an accident. Accidents happen. Please stay on the scene because you can face serious penalties. Back to you in the studio, LaDawn.
Thanks, Vaughn, and a special thank you to our drone operator, Ashley Whitney, for those fantastic shots. In just a few days, the Elevation Awards will take place where Bahamians will be recognized for their good work. Here to talk about the awards are some of the organizers, Vince McDonald and Travis Edgecombe.
Good morning.
Gentlemen, welcome to the Morning Edition.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Okay, Vince, so talk to me a little bit about, are you able to give us a brief history of the Elevation Awards?
So basically, the Elevation Awards is the Bahamas' premier entertainment award show. So basically, it's designed to celebrate the accomplishments of those entertainers that go out day in, day out to put in that work to entertain us, and then also to provide a platform for rising and established and rising entertainers that, you know, just giving them that platform, and then to celebrate and honor those persons that have paved the way before us. So it's a three-part vision behind it, and so we're so excited to continue this for a third year.
Travis, talk to us about nominations and, or I guess, the categories for the
this
awards.
year, we wanted to go bigger and better. Each year, we learned that there are some categories that are missing, so we added new. Last year, we had about 17 to 18. Now this year, we have 25. So we added brand new categories such as Hip Hop Artist of the Year, Hip Hop Song of the Year, Bahamian International Award of the Year. So we're excited about all of the nominees and submissions that we've been getting since the inception of the award show. So we're really, really happy about this year the most, and we're hoping to see that next year we get a little bit more submissions and probably broaden more of the nominations.
So what can we expect at the big night of the awards?
We have an amazing night planned for everyone. It's going to be a night filled with, we want everyone, those persons that are interested in entertainment, those persons that are interested in acting, whether it's visual art, because it's just not for music. People, it's the perception that it's just a music award show. No, we have, is for entertainers, for those persons that act, those persons that do music videos, those persons that are just interested in the area. So to come out, just be a part, get to rub the shoulders with some of the best in the industry. Live performances from Dyson Knight, me and just so many. Julian Believe, just some of our top Bahamian entertainers will be hitting the stage, and it's going to be hosted by Bahamian King of Comedy, Naughty. So it's going to be an amazing, amazing night with our red carpet experience to start at 5:30. So come dressed to impress, and then of course we go right into our main show following the red carpet. So it's going to be an amazing night.
When?
It all goes down this Saturday, April 6th, 5:30 p.m. from the British Colonial Hilton.
Travis Edgecombe, Vince McDonald, thank you guys
so
for
much.
joining us here on the Morning Edition. And best of luck on the Elevation Awards.
Thank you so much.
Stay close. We've got more news right after this. You're watching the Morning Edition. Welcome back to the Morning Edition. Executive Chairman at the Water and Sewerage Corporation, Adrian Gibson, sending a stern warning to those who allegedly tampered with the water supply, which resulted in disruptions to that necessary amenity across New Providence, that there will be serious consequences. This after water and sewerage workers staged a sit-in Tuesday after employees were suspended. Gibson described the matter as sabotage and a national security issue.
Any employee found to have tampered with the water supply will be summarily dismissed and referred to the police. This type of behavior will not be tolerated. These malicious acts of sabotage, criminality, and a sick effort to terrorize and inflict hardship upon Bahamians and residents.
Great news on the horizon for Grand Bahama as the Minister of Agriculture and Marine Resources and Member of Parliament for Marcos City, Michael Pintard, making an important announcement during the evening session of the House of Assembly on Wednesday.
In Marcos City, we are now working with 4 architects, 1 out of New Providence, but 3 out of Grand Bahama, who have designed for us, Mr. Speaker, a wonderful facility. And we are in the process, Mr. Speaker, of building a tech hub. This tech hub, Mr. Speaker, is consistent with our plan, Mr. Speaker, to develop a facility where young people can be trained in a wide range of technologies.
Pintard says the facility is set to be constructed in the Gambier Drive area following a rezoning exercise by the Port Authority and will feature a recording studio, animation, web design, and a computer lab set to be open to 7th through 12th graders. And even at the tertiary level, Minister Pintard says it's time that Freeport gets a cut of the economic pie. Meanwhile, as members debated a bill for an act to amend the multinational entities' financial reporting, Minister Pintard added that agriculture and the fisheries industry here in the Bahamas is in need of new blood, among other areas.
We must construct an economy where we are not held hostage by any international, intergovernmental agency, multinational organization, or our personal appetites. Because to the extent, as a people, to the extent that we develop consumerism and develop a consumption pattern of life, we will consistently be at the mercies of others.
Now, the House resumes on April 24th. While roadworks are still on the drawing board to be carried out here in New Providence, the Department of Public Works is also conducting road repairs on a number of family islands that are in dire need of reconstruction. During an interview with ZNS News, Deputy Director of Public Works Damian Francis gave an overview of continued exercises on many of those islands.
There's a contractor in Crooked at the moment undertaking works. He's been there for a while, but he's progressing with works. Acklands, there's been substantial work done in Acklands, where we've actually paved the roads using asphalt. We're undertaking works in Abaco, two main projects, one in the Stink Pond area and Ernestine Highway. We received a number of complaints. We had some settlement of the road throughout Ernestine, and it was a safety concern. So we awarded a contract recently for a contractor to do investigatory works, and then we proceed with the construction works.
The Securities Commission of the Bahamas, or SCB, has released a draft legislation that would regulate the issuance or sale of digital tokens in or from within the Bahamas and how sellers and intermediary service providers conduct themselves. The SCB released the draft Digital Assets and Registered Exchanges Bill 2019, the DARE Bill 2019, for industry and public consultation for a period of 8 weeks. The bill proposes a legislative structure with standards for entry into and participation in the digital token space. These requirements stipulate who may participate, the level of capital required, the rules for reporting, and seeking the Commission's and counterterrorism laws ensure data protection measures related to personal information of clients and to implement measures to prevent data breaches that would jeopardize crypto assets. Stay close, we've got more news right after this. You're watching The Morning Edition. Stay close, we've got more news right after this. You're watching The Morning Edition. Crime scene investigators play a pivotal role in police investigations. The 20-member CSI unit of the Royal Bahamas Police Force, headed by Superintendent Stuart Curtis, investigates all serious crime scenes, including murders. Their work extends to the Family Islands. Superintendent Curtis said their work is based on the theory of a French criminologist that criminals always leave a trail.
Whenever a person enters an environment, either leave something on that environment or take something away. And crime scene investigation is based on the theory. Whenever a culprit enters the crime scene, we believe that he leaves something and he takes something away from the crime scene. So when you go to the crime scene, you will find something there that person left, or whenever you find that person, you may find physical evidence from that crime scene on that person.
Inspector Gardel Roll received extensive CSI training locally and abroad, including a course by Scotland Yard detectives. On murder scenes, he and his team are garbed in white protective gear with gloves and eyewear. He said their work relies heavily on forensics and science.
It's extremely important for you to be detailed and professional at all times, because you do not want to tamper with the results of the science. Science is what it is. You're not there to try and prosecute anybody or exonerate anybody. You go there and you process the scene, you collect evidence as it is, and it is what it is. You're not there to try and take one way or the other. It's totally neutral.
And members of the nonprofit youth organization Junior Achievement Bahamas are celebrating their anniversary this year in a special way. Crystal Darling reports.
To commemorate Junior Achievement Bahamas' 40th anniversary, officials will publish a cookbook filled with information on junior achievement, cooking tips, and recipes contributed by people of all walks of life here in the Bahamas. JA Scholarship and Fundraiser Coordinator Erica Morris explained why they chose to compose a cookbook for the organization's anniversary.
Living in the Bahamas, I realized that when someone truly makes a donation, it's a donation. So we decided we wanted to come up with something that was a little bit different than actually asking for money. It's more or less like, a fundraiser, something that someone can actually have and keep forever. I'm very familiar.
Former politician Loretta Butler Turner detailed how she makes LBT's perfect omelet.
There are so many things you can do with eggs. Eggs provide a great source of protein, nutrients, and of course, I have a variety of various things that I can add to that. So for me, eggs are a quick go-to, inexpensive meal that can provide lots of nutrition for individuals depending on what you add to it. You can have it for breakfast. You can serve it with toast or bagels and bacon or, any sort of breakfast meats that you like. You can have it for lunch and serve it with a side of salad. You can have it for dinner and you can serve it with oven roasted potatoes and a salad.
This is really good. The former politician isn't the only one showing us how it's done today. We also traveled to Bahamas Blue Tavern, where the executive chef there, Kevin Pratt, showed us what makes his cracked lobster tacos completely irresistible.
Yes, I tried my best to incorporate both the Mexican flair and use the Bahamian ingredients as much as possible. So, we like to use a lot of onions in our cooking, so conch and onions. So I said, okay, I'll pickle the onions, which is the red onions, and then the Mexican like to use a lot of black beans. So I incorporated some Bahamian spices into the black beans, some gold pepper, things of that nature into the black beans. And once again, the spiny tail lobster, we use that a lot in the Bahamas. So I tried my best to incorporate that into the cracked lobster tacos, and we use a lot of cracked conch. So instead of using cracked conch, I said, let me try cracked lobster. So that's how I came up with the cracked lobster taco concept.
The book's official launch is scheduled for Saturday, April 6th. Crystal Darling, ZNS Network News.
Great story there, Crystal. Now, our Charles Fisher is in Cat Island exploring what some call the Island of Discovery. He took time out to speak with Jacob the Conch Man. Here's that conversation.
Jacob Johnson is a local fisherman here in Cat Island. His catch is conch. Unlike some of us, he gets an early morning start.
Get my gas the previous day. Go to the service station, get my gas for the previous day. At 6:45 a.m., I hit the water. Run 9 miles out. 6 hours. I be back, go from 6, I spend for 6 hours. Round 2:30 in the afternoon, I be back.
Going out most of the time by himself, he is very cautious.
My life vest and I anchor my boat and I go down. And when I come back up, if the boat in there, then that's something different. But I carry my life jacket, I anchor my boat and I do my diving on the ground.
And how is business on the island?
I have my clientele. I have my people who come to me and they patronize. And once they do, I sell them. But I don't sell here in Kerala, I'll send off to Nassau.
There has been a call for a seasonal ban on conch. This is his view.
At the depth where I go, if you ain't got good lungs, you have to have good lungs to get done, good lungs to get done. Other than that, you can't get it. So on the shallow, where the people would go and get it and reap it like that, if you want to put a season, then fine. But where I go, you got to have good lungs. God bless me with good lungs. I have good lungs, so I could go down quite comfortably. Everybody can do it.
In Cat Island, for the morning edition, I'm Charles Fisher.
Now, Fisher, don't be stingy. Bring some of that conch back for us here in the newsroom. Sports is up next with Charles Fisher.
and welcome to Sports Thursday. I'm Charles Fisher. We're taking it to the island this morning. We're here in Cat Island, Smith's Bay to be exact, where the Langs will go into the water this morning at 8 o'clock for the official start of the Cat Island Fishing Tournament. Last night, it was the official opening ceremony.
On the mark, get set, go! It's about to take off here, right here at Smith's Bay Dock, our second annual Cat Island Down Home Fish Off Festival. I would like to thank everybody who have came out and support this event here this afternoon.
Indeed, this is a great event. And also on behalf of the entire district, I would also like to congratulate Mr. Gilbert and his committee to just encourage you to continue on and always to bring something healthy to Cat Island as we always look for things to do. And we always use this thing as one team, as we want everything that is done in Cat Island to always be done at its best, and it'll always be for the benefit of all Cat Islanders. Once again, congratulations, Mr. President, and indeed, thank you, and indeed, we will now say this is officially open, and I would also like to welcome you all.
The fishermen meeting where all the rules were given, what you can do, what you can catch. And the defending champs is Crystal Desmond and crew.
Last year was really competitive, but this year I think it'll be even more competitive because last year was only about 5 boats. This year we're expecting more than 12 boats because we have persons from the north of Cat Island will be also participating inside this, and we have other persons. We have winter residents who will be participating. Persons from even Hawksons will even be inside it. So this year will be even more exciting and more competitive.
And that's going to do it for Sports Thursday, LaDawn. I have a grunt for you, and for Vaughn, a porgy. We'll have much more on the Cat Island Fishing Tournament coming up later on this evening with Jonathan Benson in the 6 and the 7 o'clock newscast. Until then, I'm enjoying myself here in Cat Island.
In our final look at weather, satellite pictures still showing that stationary frontal boundary across the northwest Bahamas, which will create some pop-up showers during the course of the day. In the central and southeastern Bahamas, not too bad, save for just around the Crooked Island, Ackles area. You have another little blob of clouds heading in that area that too can produce some showers in that part of the country. But our forecast for today calls for periods of clouds and sunshine with 1 or 2 showers, particularly during the morning hours. Very much breezy as we get into the afternoon hours. High temperature getting up to 82 degrees. And tonight we're looking at partly cloudy conditions, 68 degrees for your low temperature. The extended weather forecast, a low 80s right through our 7-day cycle. Low temperatures will remain in the upper 60s to low 70s with lots of sunshine heading into the weekend. So once again, the Red Cross Fair is looking pretty good weather-wise. So Don?
Some great weather news there, Basil. That's it for us today. For Charles Fisher, Vaughn Albury, and the rest of the Morning Edition team, I'm LaDawn Davis. Make it a great day, everyone.